Hey there, future arts education officers. Got that big interview coming up.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Don't sweat it. We're diving deep today with RoleCatcher to, help you totally nail it.
Absolutely. RoleCatcher is an amazing resource for, well, pretty much everything you need for the job hunt.
Right, they've got that CV builder, resume builder, even a whole database of employers.
Not to mention the interview prep section.
Oh yeah, that's the gold. Over 120,000 questions in there. Talk about being ready for anything.
And don't forget their career guides. They're packed with, like, all sorts of insights about different jobs.
Including, of course, the arts education officer role. That's what we're all about today.
Exactly. Think of this deep dive as, your personal cheat sheet.
With some seriously insider tips sprinkled in.
Definitely.
All right, let's kick things off by painting a picture of what this role actually looks like day to day. What does an arts education officer actually do?
Well, it's so much more than just teaching, although that's obviously a big part of it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You're like a community builder, really.
And you're making sure the arts are accessible to everyone, which is huge.
Absolutely. That's at the heart of it all.
And speaking of huge, RoleCatcher's guide mentions that the job outlook for AEOs is, like, super positive.
It is. It's a growing field with, well, a ton of potential for anyone who's passionate about the arts.
And about education, of course.
Absolutely. So yeah, things are looking good for aspiring AEOs.
Great news. Now, are you ready to dive into the heart of our deep dive?
Let's do it.
The interview questions.
Bring them on.
RoleCatcher's interview guide is, well, let's just say it's an absolute goldmine. We've picked out some of the most common ones to help you practice.
Sounds good.
Ready to jump in?
Let's do it.
First up, can you tell us about your experience in arts education? Now, I know it's tempting to just blurt out, I love art.
Yeah, we all love art,
But the interviewers are looking for, a little more than that.
they want specifics. They want to see how your love for art translates into, actual skills and experience.
Exactly. So before you jump into I love art,
Hmm?
think about how you can really showcase your experience.
Right. Have you taught classes, designed workshops, led, like, community art projects? Those are the things they want to hear about.
This is where quantifying your experience comes in.
Yeah.
So instead of just saying, I taught a class, tell them you, I don't know, developed a curriculum for a class of 20 students focusing on, say, ceramics, and saw a 20% increase in student engagement.
Adding those details really paints a much clearer picture of, what you're capable of.
And the impact you've had.
Yeah.
And don't forget, be prepared for follow-up questions.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
They might ask you to, delve deeper into a specific project or describe a challenge you faced and how you overcame it.
Right. It's not just about listing your experiences. It's about showing that you can, think on your feet and solve problems.
Exactly. Adaptability is key in any role, but especially in arts education. Things can change quickly.
They really can. And speaking of adaptability, it can really come in handy here?
RoleCatcher's AI.
Exactly. It's like genius.
You can actually input, the specific job description into their platform.
Yeah.
And their AI, get this, will analyze it to figure out, the key skills they're looking for.
It's like magic.
It is. And then based on that, it'll give you suggestions on how to tailor your answers.
Seriously, it's like having a personalized cheat sheet for each interview.
That's a great way to put it. Okay, ready for the next question.
Hit me with it.
How do you stay up to date with the latest trends and developments in arts education? Now, this is where you get to, show off your passion.
And your resourcefulness.
Exactly. So, do you subscribe to any journals or publications? Follow, influential educators or organizations on social media? Attend conferences or workshops?
All of that. The more the merrier, right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
And instead of just, name-dropping websites or organizations,
Right.
go a step further. Mention specific thought leaders in arts education, like, Sir Ken Robinson, whose work on creativity you find, inspiring.
Love him. Great example.
Talk about innovative programs or approaches that have caught your attention.
And don't forget to explain why they resonate with you.
Right. Sharing those specific examples and insights really shows that you're, genuinely engaged in the field.
And committed to, constantly learning and growing, which is what they're looking for, right?
Absolutely. They want someone who's passionate, curious, and always looking for new ways to improve.
Exactly. So, yeah, this question is your chance to really shine. Show them that you're a lifelong learner who's, always on the cutting edge of arts education.
Love it. Okay, let's tackle a question that's, super relevant in today's world, right?
Mm-hmm.
Describe your experience working with diverse populations in arts education.
Diversity, super important.
It is, and it's a crucial aspect of the role, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because arts education should be, accessible and inclusive to everyone.
100%. The interviewer wants to see that you're sensitive to the needs of different learners, that you value inclusivity.
And that you can adapt your approach to create a welcoming and engaging environment for all students.
Exactly.
So think about the different groups you've worked with. Have you taught students from different socioeconomic backgrounds?
Students with disabilities,
English language learners.
students from different cultural backgrounds, all of those things.
Sharing those experiences and highlighting specific strategies you've used to create an inclusive and culturally responsive learning environment is key.
Absolutely. Did you, I don't know, modify your teaching methods to cater to different learning styles?
Did you seek out, diverse learning material?
Did you collaborate with colleagues from different backgrounds?
All great examples. These details really showcase your commitment to, equity in arts education. And once again, be prepared for those follow-up questions.
Oh, yeah, they're coming.
The interviewer might ask you to, say, describe a specific situation where you had to, adapt your approach to meet the needs of a diverse learner, or how you'd handle a situation where a student, felt excluded.
Right. They want to see that you can, not only talk the talk, but walk the walk.
Exactly. And that you can handle those sometimes tricky situations with sensitivity and understanding.
For sure. Because those situations are going to come up, right? It's part of the job.
Totally. Okay, let's shift gears a bit and talk about another crucial aspect of being an arts education officer: collaboration.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
It really does. The next question we'll tackle is, can you describe your experience working with other educators and administrators in arts education?
Ooh, good one. Collaboration is essential in this field, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. Interviewers want to know if you can, work effectively as part of a team, communicate clearly, build positive relationships with your colleagues.
Basically, they want to know if you're a team player.
Exactly. They're looking for someone who can, contribute to a collaborative and supportive work environment. So think about your past experiences working with others in an educational setting.
Right. Have you co-taught a class, worked on, I don't know, a curriculum development team, organized an event with other educators?
Perfect examples.
Yeah.
And when you're describing those experiences, really highlight those key skills you used, right?
Yeah. Communication, collaboration, conflict resolution, active listening, all that good stuff.
Give specific examples of how you've, worked effectively with others to achieve a common goal. And if possible, quantify your contributions.
Quantify, you mean put some numbers to it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Did your collaboration lead to, I don't know, a new program initiative or a successful fundraising event?
Right. Numbers always help paint a clearer picture.
They really do. It
Yeah.
shows that you can, not just work as part of a team, but also make a tangible impact through collaboration.
Exactly. And interviewers love that.
They do. Okay, remember RoleCatcher's AI?
Oh, yeah, that magic tool.
It can provide some pretty valuable insights here as well. It can actually analyze the job posting and then suggest specific example from your experience that align with the skills and responsibilities they're looking for.
So cool. It's like having a personal assistant who knows exactly what the interviewers want to hear.
Right. For example, let's say the job description really emphasizes strong communication skills.
Right.
RoleCatcher might suggest that you highlight instances where you, effectively communicated with colleagues, like, I don't know, resolving a disagreement, presenting a proposal, or giving constructive feedback.
Great examples. It's all about connecting the dots between your experience and the employer's needs.
Exactly. And RoleCatcher's AI can help you do that, super effectively. Okay, ready for the next question?
Hit me.
This one focuses on a crucial aspect of effective teaching: assessment.
Ooh, assessment. I know it might not sound super exciting,
But it's incredibly important.
it really is.
The question is, can you describe your approach to assessment and evaluation in arts education?
All right, so with this one, the interviewers really want to see that you understand, the importance of assessment, that you can use data to inform your teaching practice, and that you're, always looking for ways to improve.
Exactly. It's all about showing that you're, a reflective practitioner who's dedicated to student success.
For sure. So let's break this down a bit. What are some examples of assessment and evaluation methods you've used in the past?
Oh, there's so many. From formative assessments, things like classroom observations,
Feedback?
to summative assessments like quizzes, tests, and final projects.
Lots of options. And, there's no one right way to do it.
Right. It depends on like the context, the age of the students, the goals of the program, all of that.
Exactly. And the interviewer wants to hear how you've, thought about all of that and made decisions about assessment based on those factors.
So when you answer this question, don't just list the methods you've used. Explain why you chose those specific approaches, how you used the data you collected, and the impact it had on your teaching.
Right. You could say something like, I use student self-assessments to, encourage reflection and help students identify their own strengths and areas for growth.
Perfect example.
This data then helped me, adjust my lesson plans and provide more targeted support.
Boom. That shows you're, thoughtfully using assessment to create a more effective and engaging learning experience.
Absolutely. And it shows that you're, student-centered, which is huge in arts education.
It is. And here's a little insider tip. Connect your assessment approach to the specific goals of, the program you're interviewing for.
Ooh, good one.
So do they prioritize student creativity, critical thinking skills, collaboration?
Make that connection clear.
Exactly. It's all about showing that you understand their values and how your approach aligns with their vision. Okay, ready to get those creative juices flowing? The next question dives into curriculum development.
Love it.
The question is, can you describe your experience developing and implementing arts education curriculum?
This is where you get to really showcase your creativity, your understanding of, learning design, and your ability to translate your passion for the arts into a structured and engaging curriculum.
Exactly. So let's break it down. What are the key steps involved in curriculum development?
Well, first, you need, clear learning objectives. What should students know and be able to do by the end?
Right. What are you hoping they'll, take away from the experience?
Exactly. And then you need to align those objectives with, relevant standards, whether they're state standards, national standards, or even the organization's own guidelines.
Makes sense. So you're making sure your curriculum is, aligned with what's expected in the field.
Absolutely. And then comes the fun part, designing those engaging activities.
This is where you really get to shine. Hands-on projects, field trips, guest artists, technology integration. What gets your students excited about learning?
All those things. And remember to consider, diverse learning needs.
Yeah.
How will you differentiate instruction to meet those needs? How will you make sure all students feel, included and challenged?
Great point. So you've got this amazing curriculum designed. Now, how do you actually bring it to life?
That's the implementation phase. Creating those, detailed lesson plans, gathering materials, setting up the learning environment, and of course, ongoing assessment to see what's working and, make adjustments as needed.
Makes sense. So when you answer this question, be specific. Describe a curriculum you developed, highlighting those key elements, right?
Right. The objectives, standards, activities, and the results you achieved.
Did student engagement increase? Did they create, some impressive artwork? Did they develop a deeper understanding of an art form?
Share those successes. Show them what you're capable of.
Exactly. And don't shy away from, those challenges you faced along the way.
Yeah.
Did you have to adapt the curriculum midstream?
Did you encounter resistance?
Those are all valuable learning experiences. They show problem-solving skills and adaptability.
Totally. Because let's face it, not everything always goes according to plan.
Never does. All right. Ready to plug in?
Plug in.
Get techie. The next question is all about technology.
Bring on the tech.
Can you describe your experience using technology in arts education? Now, it's not just about, knowing how to use technology.
Right.
It's about understanding its potential to, transform those learning experiences.
Exactly. The interviewers want to see that you can leverage technology to enhance, creativity, collaboration, and access to the arts.
So think about specific tools you've used. Digital art software, virtual museum tours,
online portfolios,
even using video conferencing to connect with, artists from around the world.
Ooh, that's a good one. Those virtual field trips are amazing.
They are. And again, be specific. How did you use the technology? What impact did it have on students?
And what challenges did you overcome?
Right. Because there are always challenges, right?
Always. But sharing those challenges shows that you're, resourceful and that you're willing to learn and adapt.
Exactly. And that you're not afraid to, to experiment and try new things.
Totally. Okay, speaking of trying new things, let's talk about community engagement.
I love it. It's all about, building those bridges between the classroom and the community.
Exactly. It's about creating, enriching experiences for students demonstrating the value of arts education to the wider community.
So the next question explores that very topic. Can you describe your experience working with community partners in arts education?
All right, community partnerships. So important. Think about organizations you've partnered with. Museums, theaters, community arts centers.
What did those partnerships look like? What impact did they have?
Did students get to, exhibit their work in a local gallery, attend a professional performance?
Learn from, I don't know, a master artist.
Share those stories.
They make a huge difference. And, you guessed it, RoleCatcher's AI can really come in handy here as well.
I bet it can.
It can analyze the job description.
Yeah.
And then it suggests potential community partners that, might be relevant to the role.
That's so smart.
It is. So, for example, if the position, involves working with underserved youth, RoleCatcher might suggest highlighting partnerships with organizations that focus on youth development or, social justice.
Right. It's all about showing that you understand the needs of the community and that you can, leverage those partnerships to create meaningful experiences for students.
Exactly. All right, ready to step into a leadership role?
Always.
The final question we'll address today is, can you describe your experience supervising and mentoring other arts education professionals? Now, even if you haven't had a formal supervisory position,
Right.
you've probably had opportunities to guide and support others.
Oh, for sure. Have you mentored student teachers, led professional development workshops, offered feedback to colleagues?
Those all count. So think about how you've, helped others grow and develop their skills.
And when you describe those experiences, highlight those key leadership skills. Communication, delegation, giving constructive feedback, creating a supportive environment, all of that.
Did you, implement a mentoring program?
Ooh, nice.
That helped new teachers thrive. Did your feedback lead to, improvements in a colleague's teaching practices?
Share those achievements. It's all about demonstrating your potential to, inspire and guide others, which is a valuable quality for any leadership role.
Absolutely. And guess what? RoleCatcher's AI can be incredibly helpful in preparing for this question as well.
No way. It really can do it all, can it?
It's pretty amazing. So by analyzing the job description, RoleCatcher can suggest specific leadership skills that might be particularly relevant to the role.
Ah, okay, I see.
And then you can, tailor your answers accordingly.
Makes sense. So for example, let's say the position involves, managing a team of educators. RoleCatcher might suggest emphasizing your experience with team building, delegation, and performance management.
Right. It's all about showcasing the, specific leadership qualities they're looking for, which helps your application stand out.
Makes you memorable.
Exactly. Okay, we've covered a lot of ground today, exploring some of the most common interview questions for arts education officers, and sharing strategies for crafting those compelling answers.
Yeah, it's been a good one. Lots of great tips.
But before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I want to highlight one of RoleCatcher's most powerful tools, their AI-powered interview practice platform.
Oh yeah, I've heard about that. It's supposed to be amazing.
It is. This platform lets you practice answering common interview questions and then receive, get this, AI-powered feedback.
Wow.
On your content, your delivery, and even your body language. Talk about taking the guesswork out of interview prep.
Seriously. That's incredible. It's like having a virtual interview coach in your pocket.
That's a great way to put it.
Providing personalized insights and helping you, refine your responses to perfection. It's got to be such a confidence booster knowing that you're presenting yourself in the best possible light.
Totally. And here's a pro tip. Once you've practiced your answers, think about tailoring them to, different interviewer styles.
Oh, that's smart.
Because some interviewers might be, more formal and structured, while others might be more casual and conversational.
Right.
Adapting your approach shows that you're, attuned to those social dynamics.
Which is a valuable skill in any field, really.
It is.
Yeah.
But especially when you're working with, diverse groups of people in the arts.
Totally. Because you're going to encounter all sorts of personalities and communication styles.
Exactly. Being able to adapt your communication style demonstrates flexibility and emotional intelligence, which are qualities that are, highly sought after in arts education officers.
For sure. Employers want someone who can, connect with people from all walks of life.
Absolutely. So as we wrap up this part of our deep dive, what's the one key takeaway you want our future AEOs to remember?
Preparation is key. The more you understand the role, research the organization, and practice your answers, the more confident and authentic you'll be in the interview. But beyond all the technical preparation, don't forget to let your passion shine through.
Yes, love that. Enthusiasm is contagious, and if you genuinely love what you do, it'll show.
It really will.
So tap into that excitement, let it fuel your answers, and I have no doubt you'll make a fantastic impression.
You got this.
You do. Well said. We've
Oh,
covered
yeah.
a lot of ground today, from understanding the multifaceted role of an arts education officer to exploring those sometimes tricky interview questions.
And don't forget highlighting those incredible resources that RoleCatcher offers.
Of course. RoleCatcher, you're the best. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll continue our deep dive with even more tips and insights to help you ace that interview.
Can't wait.
All right, welcome back to the deep dive. We're talking all things arts education officer interviews, and we're about to, jump back into those tricky questions.
Talk a lot.
But first, I want to remind everyone about RoleCatcher.
Our favorite job hunting secret weapon.
It is. They've got everything you need, from, resume builders to AI-powered interview practice.
Don't forget those career guides.
Right. Packed with insights about different roles, including, of course, the arts education officer. So if you haven't already, definitely check them out.
Link in the show notes.
You got it. Okay, ready to tackle the next question?
Bring it on.
All right, this one is all about budgeting.
Ooh, budgeting.
Yeah, it's not always the most glamorous part of the job, but
But it's important.
essential. The question is, can you describe your experience managing budgets in arts education?
All right, so with this one, the interviewers really want to see that you understand the financial realities of running an arts program, that you can, be responsible with resources, make tough decisions when necessary, and, stretch those dollars as far as possible.
Exactly. Because, let's face it, arts programs aren't always rolling in dough.
Sadly, that's true. But you've got to be creative.
Absolutely.
Mm.
So when you're answering this question, think about specific examples from your past experiences.
Right. Have you ever, had to create a budget from scratch?
Manage a grant, track expenses.
Find creative ways to cut costs without, sacrificing quality.
Those are all great examples.
Mm.
And like we've been saying, the more specific you can be, the better.
Totally. Don't just say, I managed a budget. Tell them, how big the budget was, what challenges you faced, and how you, overcame them.
Did you have to, make tough choices about which programs to fund?
And negotiate with vendors to get the best prices.
Think outside the box to, find alternative funding sources.
Share those stories. They show that you can handle, the financial side of things, which is a big part of being an arts education officer.
It is. All right, ready for a bit of a curveball?
Hit me.
All right, this one's a little more philosophical.
Oh, I love those.
The question is, what is your philosophy of arts education?
Ooh, that's a big one.
It is, but it's also a chance to, really share your passion and your vision for the field.
Absolutely. This is where you get to, articulate your beliefs about the value of arts education, why it's important, and what you hope to achieve through your work.
Exactly. So before you jump into your answer, take a moment to really think about, what drives you?
What are your core values as an educator?
What do you believe the arts can do for, for individuals and for communities?
And how does your approach to arts education reflect those beliefs?
Right. So, for example, do you believe that the arts are, essential for human development?
That they foster creativity, critical thinking, and empathy.
That they help us, understand different cultures and perspectives?
That they build community and promote social justice.
Those are all great things to, to touch on in your answer. And remember, this is your chance to, to be a little bit more personal.
Yeah, let your personality shine through.
Show the interviewers why you're passionate about arts education and what makes your approach, unique.
They want to see your enthusiasm.
They do. All right, let's get back to those more practical questions.
Okay.
This one is all about professional development.
Staying sharp.
Exactly. The question is, how do you stay current with best practices in arts education? Now, we kind of touched on this earlier when we talked about, staying up to date with trends.
Right.
But this question is a little bit more focused on, on those specific practices and strategies that are proven to be effective in the classroom.
So it's less about, what's trendy and more about what actually works.
Exactly. So think about, the professional development opportunities you've taken advantage of.
Have you attended conferences or workshops, take in online courses, read books or articles.
Join professional organizations.
All of those things. And again, be specific. Mention specific organizations, publications, or, thought leaders that you follow.
Right. Name drop those big names in the field.
Exactly. And don't just list them. Explain what you've learned from them and how you've, applied that knowledge to your own practice.
Perfect. Show them that you're, committed to continuous improvement and that you're always looking for ways to, to hone your craft.
They'll be impressed.
They will. Okay, ready for another one?
Shoot.
What are some of the biggest challenges facing arts education today?
Ooh, now we're getting serious.
We are.
Yeah.
This question is, it's a little bit heavier, but it's also a chance for you to, to show that you understand the bigger picture.
That you're aware of the issues facing the field and that you've, thought about how to address them.
Exactly. So what are some of the challenges facing arts education these days? Well, we've all heard about, budget cuts.
Ugh, those are the worst.
They are. And then there's, the pressure to focus on standardized testing, which can sometimes come at the expense of arts programs.
Yeah, it's tough. And there's also, the challenge of making sure that arts education is accessible to all students.
Right. Regardless of their background, their abilities, or their zip code.
Absolutely. And we can't forget about the importance of advocating for the arts.
So true. Making sure that people, understand the value of arts education and that they're willing to support it.
Right. So when you're answering this question, don't just rattle off a list of challenges. Talk about specific challenges that you've encountered in your own work. And, most importantly, share your ideas about how to address those challenges.
Yes. This is your chance to show off your problem-solving skills, to demonstrate that you're, a creative thinker who's not afraid to tackle those tough issues.
And that you're, committed to finding solutions.
Exactly. All right, ready to wrap things up with one last question.
Hit me.
All right, this one's a classic. Why should we hire you?
Ah, the million-dollar question.
It is. And it's your chance to, to really sell yourself, to summarize all the amazing skills and experiences you've been talking about, and to, to leave the interviewers with a lasting impression.
So what's your elevator pitch? Why are you the best person for this job?
Right. Now, I know it can be tempting to, to just repeat everything you've already said.
Yeah, but don't do that.
Don't. Instead, focus on, a few key points that really highlight what makes you stand out.
What are your unique strengths? What are you most passionate about? And how do those align with, the needs of the organization?
Connect the dots for them. Show them how your skills and experiences, directly relate to the job description. And most importantly, let your personality shine through.
Yeah, be yourself.
Because at the end of the day, they're not just looking for someone who's, qualified. They're looking for someone who's a good fit for their team.
Totally. Someone who's, passionate, enthusiastic, and a joy to work with.
Exactly. So relax, be yourself, and let your passion for arts education shine through.
You got this.
All right, we're going to take another quick break.
Sounds good.
But when we come back, we'll wrap up our deep dive with some final thoughts and tips to help you ace that interview.
Can't wait.
And we're back for the final part of our Arts Education Officer Interview Deep Dive.
We're in the home stretch now.
We are. So before we send you off to, wow those interviewers, I want to touch on a few more tips that can really make a difference.
Okay, lay them on me.
First up, research.
Ah, always important.
It is. Take some time to, learn as much as you can about the organization you're interviewing with.
Their mission, their programs, their values.
Exactly. Look at their website, read their annual report, check out their social media.
Stalk them online.
In a non-creepy way, of course.
Oh, of course.
The more you know about the organization, the better you'll be able to, tailor your answers and show them that you're genuinely interested in working there.
And that you've, done your homework.
Exactly. And speaking of tailoring your answers, remember those key skills and experiences that we talked about earlier. Think about how you can weave those into your responses.
Right. Even if the question doesn't directly ask about, budgeting or assessment or whatever.
Right.
Find a way to naturally work those things into your answers.
All about, subtly showcasing your strengths and showing them that you've got, the skills and the experience they're looking for.
And don't forget to be enthusiastic.
Oh, yeah. Enthusiasm goes a long way. Smile, make eye contact, let your passion for for arts education shine through.
They want to see that you're, excited about the opportunity.
Absolutely. And hey, it's okay to, to be a little bit nervous. Interviews are nerve-wracking.
Really normal.
But try to channel that nervous energy into, positive energy.
Right. Like use it to fuel your passion and your enthusiasm.
Exactly. All right, one last tip. Be prepared to ask questions at the end of the interview.
Oh, yeah, that's important. Don't just sit there like a bump on a log when they ask, do you have any questions for us?
Right. It shows that you're, curious, that you're engaged, and that you're thinking critically about the role.
So come prepared with a few, thoughtful questions.
Things like, what are some of the biggest challenges facing the arts program right now?
What are your expectations for this role in the first year?
What opportunities are there for professional development?
Ooh, all good questions.
They are. And, don't be afraid to jot down some notes during the interview.
Yeah, it shows that you're like actively listening and that you're, taking the process seriously.
Exactly. All right, I think we've covered just about everything. Any final words of wisdom?
Just go out there and be yourself. Let your passion for arts education shine through, and I have no doubt you'll rock that interview.
I love it. Go get 'em, future AEOs. We're cheering you on.
You got this.
And that's a wrap on the deep dive. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.